What's up, everybody? Lines on Paper here, and this is my review of Dark Knight's Death Metal #1 by DC Comics from Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo, story and art. So before I go too far into the review, I just wanted to remind you guys to check out my Indiegogo campaign for my creator-owned comic Malevolent Rising, issue number 3, currently funding on Indiegogo, as well as a collected edition of issue 1 and 2, which you can buy as a pack with issue number 3 if you're just coming into the story. So please check that out. But on to the review. Dark Knight's Metal, or Death Metal, is a sequel to Dark Knight's Metal, which came out last year. Same creative team, Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo, and these two have been together for a while. They started off on Batman New 52 way back in the day. They had a really long run on that. Went on to do Batman Last Night on Earth, then, like I said, Metal, and now Death Metal. So for all the things going on in the comic industry, one of the things that bothers fans the most is these creative teams that come on a book, stay for 3-4 issues, and then move on. And DC has kept these two together for many years now, and they've just produced stellar work. So to their credit, this is a very good move on their part, and I think more studios should probably take a page or a lesson from what they're doing and treat their creative teams, their titles, similarly, because if you put a quality team together, they put out quality books, then I think we're going to be spending more money. But back to the review. This book starts with the DC Universe has been conquered by the Dark Multiverse, and as you can see, the Earth has been rearranged, the continent's been reshaped into this new post-apocalyptic wasteland where you have the Arkham Wastelands, the Fall of Captain Atom, Castle Bat in the Arctic, Megapocalypse, and Themyscira and the Hellscape. And as the book kicks off, the world is ruled by the Batman Who Laughs, who has kind of become DC's titular villain, at least in the last year or so, during this year of the villain. He was introduced in The Dark Knight's Metal. He is Bruce Wayne from an alternate world. He's been twisted and corrupted by Joker Venom and kind of by the world he comes from. And as you can see, it says right there on the first page, this is the real DCU. You can see it says that in the third panel as we come in and we see Wonder Woman as taking an energy chainsaw, and she is disassembling her iconic invisible jet. And as you can see, she's like in a cave. In this book, in this world, she's been made the kind of the queen of the underworld, the queen of Tartarus. And with her is Swamp Thing, who now, I'm guessing because the Earth is just such a dying husk, is barely even musters enough power to make himself a foreman and be upright. And the two of them together are the guardians of the underworld, or Themyscira, which is now hell. And as you can see, as they're walking through, you just see prison cells filled with familiar DC villains. You see Eclipso, you see Captain Cold, Riddler, Joker. I'm guessing that's probably Killer Croc there, those hands in the foreground. And Joker makes a passing comment that he's better off there in the cell rather than up on the surface that's ruled by an army of evil Batmen. I really enjoyed Death Metal. It really lives up to its name. It reminds me of, if you're old enough to know the reference, the old heavy metal magazines or the old heavy metal anime. I mean, you look at Wonder Woman, looks like a Valkyrie. Superman's got long hair. He's half burned. One of his arms is wrapped up in, I'm guessing, what's left of his cape. Batman's wearing a jacket and carrying a scythe. He has an entrance in this. You find out early he's been off in space, and I don't want to ruin what he does when he finally enters the story, but it was a really, really fun little surprise. So I definitely recommend this book, giving it a chance. And I know Batman's kind of had it rough the last couple of years. The City of Bane and the Tom King stuff, I don't want to get too much into it because I try to stay on the positive side with these review videos, but Batman had gotten a bit whiny, a bit complainy, but this is not Tom King Batman. This is Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo Batman, and he is the Cape Crusader that we know and that we have always enjoyed. So definitely high recommendation on this book if you can find it on the stands. And it's a little side note, I know we were reviewing kind of an electronic copy here. I went out and bought a physical copy, and I have to say the cover on the physical copy is a metallic foil cover of this image that I'm showing here, and it is just really, really sharp. So definitely give that a chance. If you can get your hands on a physical copy, I say that is definitely worth the money. If you can't get it there, find it on Comixology or whatever your digital platform is, and buy a copy and read it there, because it was a very fun read. I'm looking forward to reading the rest of the series. I wish comic studios in general, DC and all the others, would kind of put out other books that are like this. This is a book that feels like a big event. It feels like something big is going on, and I contrast that with other books that are out there right now, and the creative teams either are less than stellar or they're just alternating. I can't get used to a writer-artist team like I could when I first started collecting comics back in the 90s, not to date myself, but back when they could kind of keep a group together, keep a core on there, and you'd have a creative team at least for 12 issues, at least go on there for a year and give us a start. Before I go, I wanted to check in on the Indiegogo campaign that just launched. It's right here just to get a look at the page. I did a launch video earlier. If you want to check that out, I'll provide a link to that in the description below. And thanks a lot for hanging out and talking comics with me, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.